Yeah, man.
That's hot shit right there, man.
So what we gonna do? We gonna dub.
News networks are not even getting clicks like that. So this shows like there's an opportunity for this, what we're doing here on this show.
Look up something in back check, kind of like cross-reference.
Yeah, I should put the.
You say you look that shit up. That's the name of your show.
Yeah,
that's right. What really drew me in.
Remember, we want you to be an activist, and don't take our word for it. Look that shit up. Pulley. Going. Hope I don't get in trouble for playing that last video. I probably shouldn't have played that shit. I'm always testing the damn waters, bro. That shit gonna get me.
You are now
Who and what are we gonna complain about tonight?
You are now
Dime qué tú quieres, papi.
I didn't know that you realized that.
What are you thinking about? Rolling a blunt? Taking a pee-pee break? What are you doing?
Dime qué tú quieres, papi. ¿Quieres que lo mueva para ti? Mueve, mueve. ¿Te gusta cuando me muevo así? Así. Mueve, muevo, mueve.
Hey, you, we up in the place. We up in the place. We up in the place. Hey, you, make your body shake. Make your body shake. Make your body shake. Hey, you, we up in the place. We up in the place. We up in the place. Hey, you, make your body shake. Make your body shake. Make your body shake. Hop, hop, jump, skip up on the floor. If they didn't know, then we gon' let them know. Drop low, giving them a show. We gon' give them something that they never seen before. Hop, scotch, 784. Bouncing on the beat while keeping the flow. Stop, watch, freeze and go. Cock-a-doodle-doo is what you eating off the floor. Pop, lock, do it by yourself. You know you the best, you don't need nobody else. Rock, hip, toast to success. You was born a winner, so you never nothing less. Hey, you, we up in the place. We up in the place. We up in the place. Hey, you, make your body shake. Make your body shake. Make your body shake. Hey, you, we up in the place. We up in the place. We up in the place. Hey, you, make your body shake. Make your body shake. Make your body shake. Bow, bow, rock, rock, shake, shake, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Bow, bow, rock, rock, shake, shake, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Bow, bow, rock, rock, shake, shake, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Bow, bow, rock, rock, shake, shake, wiggle, wiggle. When we come through, make you move just a little, clap, clap, snap. Do it from the hip. You can do this whether you stand or sit. Pump, fist, do it with your wrist. Pump it back and forth like you trying to catch a fish. Hip, twist, do a finger kiss. Rocking back and forth as you make your body shift. Top, tick, do it like you sick. 2 + 4 is 6, and that's a arithmetic. Top 6, we gon' let it rip. We got your attention and we not gon' let it slip. So hands up, move your head and know what's up. Now it's shoulders rolling while you showing them your stuff. Hey, you, we up in the place. We up in the place. We up in the place. Hey, you, make your body shake. Make your body shake. Make your body shake. Hey, you, we up in the place. We up in the place. We up in the place. Hey, you, make your body shake. Make your body shake. Make your body shake. Bow, bow, rock, rock, shake, shake, wiggle, wiggle.
Lo que tú quieres para ti.
Bow, bow, rock, rock, shake, shake, wiggle, wiggle.
Quieres que lo mueva para ti.
Bow, bow, rock, rock, shake, shake, wiggle, wiggle.
¿Te gusta cuando me muevo así?
Bow, bow, rock, rock, shake, shake, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Make you move just a little, 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 just a little.
And now, another major production.
Yeah, I'm about to tell you what the real is. Deep down inside, you got to feel it. Emotions have the most number of killings. Pay close attention to your feelings. I'm about to tell you what the deal is. And when I'm talking, all I'm hearing is some crickets. Yeah, hurry honey, run and get your ticket. Just getting money is not always the business. Yeah, forget the $1 million mission. Sometimes I just want to go fishing instead of physically grinding in the trenches. Finding me using my knowledge, intuition. Yes. Yeah. Chaka not talking while he so distant. Yeah. Chaka be talking but they don't listen. Yeah. He's sitting, his brain pumping like a piston. I've been chasing the twilight, now I've been bitten. The city's in my sight as if I was a pigeon. Your role is cast. Your dialogue is written, it's past control. You're like a Sims minion, what to do now but roam around in and out of buildings. Seemingly living, touching ceilings, but there's no feeling. Willing and dealing, but really there's no winning. I'm sinning and sinning, so what I'm defending stuff's like prison, stuck in the life out of rivers. I'm about to tell you what the real is. Deep down inside, you got to feel it. Emotions have the most number of killings. Pay close attention to your feelings. I'm about to tell you what the deal is. And when I'm talking, all I'm hearing is some crickets. Yeah, hurry honey, run and get your ticket. Just getting money is not always the business. They say they do it for the money and the power. I'm just trying to get some peace in the shower. Protect what's mine without being a coward. Watch loved ones take time to breathe in the flowers. I've seen these G's get knee deep in powder because he needs to succeed in ours. Fuck your lifestyle, it's weak and it's sour. Fuck your lifestyle, it's weak and it's sour. Watch I come through and do like I do. Watch he come through and lose like he do. I'm a Hebrew, he just evil. We both hate people and church steeples. One thing certain, demons lurking. They be stressing, we be surfing. She be twerking and it look like it's hurting. I be perping, close the curtain. They give you lithium to get rid of that shit? I'm about to tell you what the real is. Deep down inside, you got to feel it. Emotions have the most number of killings. Pay close attention to your feelings. I'm about to tell you what the deal is. And when I'm talking, all I'm hearing is some cricket. Yeah, hurry honey, run and get your ticket. Just getting money is not always the business. I'm about to tell you what the real is. Deep down inside you got to feel it. Emotions have the most number of killings. Pay close attention to your feelings. I'm about to tell you what the deal is. And when I'm talking, all I'm hearing is some crickets. Yeah, hurry honey, run and get your ticket. Just getting money is not always the business. Yeah, you boys think you real. What is real? Whatever it is, it's not you. For real. You know what I'm saying? KCE, we coming. It's the takeover, bitch. Y'all ain't ready. This is some whole new shit. For real.
Yeah, this is what it is. It's what it is. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. I done played the block and it's time to stop. Pop the blocks, then drop the top. Button how to say fuck the cops. They keep it hot up on my block. Keep it not up in my pocket. You know the G and it can't be stopped. Flip the script with serving dip. Keep the heat on Silent Hill. You know when I know that pure water just so cold. Riding on foes, slamming wood dough. Sipping on drink, fucking these hoes. Riding on bowls, pushing kilos. Me and my boys ball out of control. Got so much ice you can balance football. Me, Lil G, I can't be hoe. Look at my mouth, see number go. Fucking with a knife, will make you fold. Look at my room, see number polo. Step in the bed and in the studio. Over your nose, the smell of smoke. Over your mouth, it's start to blow. Now you know we got that dope. Cause me and my boys ball out of control. We keyed up and G'd up. We should've lost straight speed up. We should've decided to pull my heat up. Lost things going big, I'm fucked up. Nigga, we keyed up and G'd up. Once you lost straight speed up. We should've decided to pull my heat up. Lost things going back, I'm fucked up. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle.
Hitting niggas in they fucking head with a crack. Bustin', I'm bustin' back with a gap that spits venom, you sitting black. And when the bottom of the knife and it's smack, he bleeds.
The cat's wax and I'm burned.
Cause he ain't suffered enough, hustled enough, scuffling cuff his hand to a cop, nothing discussed, cutting his nuts to his cock. Something to shock a spark out your heart when you stop jogging in the park. And you meet a nigga dog that fighting ball, blood spilling on the sidewalk. Staying in the light is smart despite staying on course, of course, cause the smell of death escaping out of corpse is rough. Top half mad and I be damned if they bottom half horse. Hush, lost souls rushing to touch the black hole, wishing to be dust gagging and fuss, cause the demon face leaking pus.
All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. Trapping and rapping ain't about the hustle. I don't wanna tussle. All trapping and rapping ain't about the hustle. I don't wanna tussle. Out.
Hey, how y'all doing out there? How y'all feel? Remember, we want you to be an activist and don't take our word for it. Look that mess up. Thank God for this day we have lived, everything in our life, our health, our family, the guidance you have given us, the many blessings you have given us. Allow us guidance to the path of righteousness with no sway towards the evils of our lower self. We're going to get that. We're going to clean that up a bit. I don't understand. I don't really understand. How y'all feel? How y'all feel? How y'all feel?
It is very unnecessary.
Bro, just take it off. Like the pee and pneumonia and the.
I'm gonna fart around a bit. The name of the show today is mental therapy. So, all week we were talking about like the insanity of society, right? And society churning out these zombie robots who don't really think for themselves. So to wrap the week up, I'd like to talk about some solutions, some ways to, escape from the matrix, some, ways to, fix our mind, to heal our mind, to, make us more healthier mentally, spiritually, physically, because it all starts with the mind, right? Financially, emotionally, it all starts with the mind. So that's what we need to focus on. We need to focus on ways to heal our minds, and one of the ways that I try to, like I say, consumption. Well, you have to think about what you consume, because what you eat is not just what you consume, because what you read or what you see on TV, the ads, the movies, even the stuff that people are saying around you, you're consuming all of that. The sounds and stuff and the environment that you're in, you're consuming all of that. So you want to think about, how those things affect you, right? Like I have a real problem with ads. I don't want to watch ads. I don't want them to affect me mentally. So that's on the negative side. But then you have the positive side where going outside and hearing the birds chirping and the insects buzzing, you know what I'm saying? Hearing those sounds, you're consuming that. And that's going to have an impact on you. When you go outside and the sun is shining on you, you're consuming that sunlight. So being more aware of what you consume related to your mental state is one answer that I think about with that, So, but that's what I want to explore today. I don't want to go too far into it right now. I kind of want to give you guys some time to get in here. So yeah, let me fart around a bit.
Like conflict because I'm scared of you.
They got that what's the name song playing in there. I really like that song too. Is that Marilyn Manson? Can't play that though. It says T-Mobile to pay customers $350 million after data breach. Dang, doesn't that be happening all the time? How many times can a company do something like that and then still get to be in business, man? Still be trusted. We only have a few choices to go by. That's why they can keep on doing whatever the hell they want to do. What you got? T-Mobile, Sprint, Boost, or whatever you got. What is it? AT&T, Apple. Apple don't have a service. Shit, wait till Apple have a damn. Anyways, y'all not gonna have y'all already don't have no choices, so y'all just take it up the rear with however they do y'all. Anyways, preach it to the choir. A cucamelon. Cucamelon. What is a cucamelon?
I like time.
Why do I have to put this damn music in everything, man? Whatever. Let's listen to this.
The news of Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck getting married has me shook. Why, you may ask? Well, someone brought it to my attention years ago that all the famous Latinas in the U.S. are married to white men.
I love you, puppy. I love you, puppy. I love you, love you, love you, puppy. I love you, puppy. I love.
Oh, there goes the damn music again. Well, I'm not gonna comment on that. But there's societal pressures that push for stuff like that. It says outside Charlie Kirk's TPUSA event in Tampa today, featuring speakers Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, Josh Hawley, and Ron DeSantis. So, well, you can't really just make them affiliated to the people that's outside with flags.
Black America, you owe me an apology, and I want my apology. Don't worry, I'm going to keep this quick. But Black America, you owe me an apology, and I want my apology.
Well, Candace Owens, I don't know what you meant, but then that's a random ass clip. So the internet just loves sensationalism, you know. We don't know what she was talking about at all. We just know that little clip. It says we should start naming heat waves after fossil fuel companies. Damn, everybody's like on vacation and shit. I didn't go nowhere. That's why they say the freaking internet makes you depressed. Because people be flossing. Sometimes, most of the time, it's not real. What is this saying? Let me read this. It says the U.S. is that friend that really has money, but always crying broke, so you don't ask for any. Even though they know you could use it, they got the bread, but they just use their money for what they want to use it for, which ain't your ass. They simply watch you struggle. Can't blame nobody for that, really. There's a saying Black elders would say, when white people sneeze, Black people catch a cold. And that's exactly what's happening with the recession that we're in. The Black community is being hit the hardest. It will get worse, and don't look for these politicians to help us. The U.S. has given Ukraine over $5 billion, just writing blank checks, all in the name of supposed defense spending. I swear the U.S. uses the defense spending excuse just like police officers use I fear for my life. Both are subjective as fuck, convoluted, and usually work. Meanwhile, if the question is asked, what about the Black community? All you get is politicians talking in circles, or a bunch of excuses, or lectured about how additional funding just isn't there. At this point, I'd better understand Charlie Brown's teacher than a politician.
There's a special heartbreak because, first of all, the pain is more intense. The rising gas prices, food prices, it's really walloped the Black community in a particular way. But the hopes were so much higher. And so you have a community that came out in huge numbers in 2018, huge numbers in 2020, expecting things to get a lot better. And instead, economically at least, it didn't come true. It got worse. And so you're going through a summer now of real heartbreak with Black voters. The polls show that, or African-American voters in particular. There's a special heartbreak because, first of all, the pain is more intense. The rising.
I want to say this to all you people who went out and tried to participate in the betterment of America by voting. I want to say this to you. Your vote don't mean shit. The police, for all intents and purposes, have been given green light to murder your motherfucking ass, African-American voters. And I don't give a fuck who you voted for. Them motherfuckers can murder you, and they're going to beat the rap. I don't know who this guy is.
What you all know, but most people don't know, unlike the African-American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community with incredibly different attitudes about different things. What you all know, but most people don't know, unlike the African...
People want to do something about the South Side of Chicago, dump money into it. Give people equitable education. Give people jobs. If you actually want to do something about crime in Chicago, there could be resources allocated for certain communities that start to transform those communities. And we have examples of this, like the Harlem Children's Zone in New York. That was basically money that was dumped from organizations and other sorts of things. They've literally changed that community in Harlem. That could be done all around the country. But see, the problem is, it has to go back to the question that if racism was an original pillar of the United States, a lot of people are invested in that pillar still being there. Hence the reason why Black people haven't gotten reparations. And we just have to acknowledge which groups have received it and which groups haven't. Y'all got me riled up today. I think on election day.
After a history of slavery, the U.S. owes reparations to African Americans. The UN-affiliated group said this recommendation was part of a study by the United Nations Working Group of Experts on People of African Descent. They found that present injustices found around the country are linked to the darkest chapters in U.S. history. When discussing the many killings of unarmed Black men at the hands of police, the report warned against impunity for state violence, which has created what they call a human rights crisis that must be addressed as a matter of urgency. The report suggested reparations including a formal apology, health initiatives, educational opportunities, psychological rehabilitation, technology transfer, and financial support and debt something. So it said the UN-affiliated group based out of Geneva says that after a history of slavery, the U.S. owes reparations to African Americans.
Texture of your hair. Who taught you to heat the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips?
Look at my African American over here. Look at him. Are you the greatest?
Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Yeah. Where everybody at? Let me read some comments. It says, this is the caption underneath that, this was an Instagram post by Let Us Awaken. This is their caption. They said, don't be fooled by how you see damn near every Black person on social living their best life. It's really messed up out here for us, and it's going to get hella scarier before it gets better. Just my random thoughts on a Friday. What y'all think? What's your take on the Black community as we deal with the harsh realities of this recession? We got somebody. What up, Pat?
What's happening?
How you feel, man?
Feel pretty good. You can hear me good?
It sound okay. It sound all right.
So you don't hear me good.
I hear you clear. It just sounds like you're talking through it doesn't sound like the connection is bad. It just sounds like the mic is bad. It sounds like there's I can hear the room and I can hear a little bitty buzzing in the background. But I can hear really good. I don't know if the audience can hear all of that.
The buzz?
Yeah, it's like a little ringing noise. But like I say, I don't know if they can hear that. You sound all right. It's okay. Did you hear any of that, what I was talking about right here? You got comments?
I was listening a little bit. I was actually driving. Well, I'm in Louisiana. I'm actually coming your way tomorrow, but however, I heard you talking a little bit here and there, so I don't know. Like, is there anything you want me to respond to specifically?
Wait, my bad. I got distracted. Did you ask me a question?
Yeah, I was like, is there anything anything specifically you want me to respond to, or?
No, I just whatever you was thinking about overall, because they just covered a lot right here, and it's really the emotional stuff. So I'm not trying to get emotionally involved in this particular thing right here, but that map that they show at the end right here, I'm showing it on the screen. That map right there is everything, man. And this is what It's the map. When it goes, it shows how the expansion of the United States going west with the dates at the top. And it's like all the rest of that was, let's say Indian territory. And it just, let me see, can I take it back? And it just shows how it was all green. The map starts off all green, and then it just starts turning all white as the years go by. And they show the dates. And so 1874, 1810, 1830, and 1850, half of it is gone. 1870 is pretty much all gone. 1890, you got some dots. And that's it. So that map is really everything. That's the history of the United States that people don't like to talk about. Because right now,
So
that's
they
why
would
on
think
that. Well, what I was gonna say
So they're
was
saying
on that
that
caption.
pretty much. Go ahead.
The on that caption it said before Palestine, because people are always talking about Palestine and and Israel and how 1914 or whatever it was before then, all of that was Palestine. And then Israel has been growing this whole time. And it's the same thing. That's why Israel is like a little baby United States. Their history is very
It's
similar.
all United States.
Because they
It's
have
not
that.
a baby United States. It is
Yeah.
the United States.
Because over here they were
Just
saying
like
manifest destiny. Go
yeah,
ahead.
just like Ukraine. Just like Ukraine. Ukraine is the United States. The Vatican is the United States. Might as well say the UK is is the United States. Like they're all in cahoots, or at least we know London City for sure. But that expansion, like pretty much anything that the Queen owns or is responsible for, is like you might as well usurp all that into saying the United States.
Yeah, but I was just using the comparison related to how how the United States was founded and how it grew, and Israel did the same thing. And it's like over here in the United States they said manifest destiny, and over there in Israel they have a saying that's similar to that. I don't want to say it because it's in a different language, but then it's like basically it means God allowed us this, or God gave us this, and then for their protection, they're like, okay, well, Hitler was trying to kill all of the Jews, so it's only right for us to have a safe place for Jewish people to be, and not have to worry about being persecuted. But that's their excuse. But meanwhile, it's people that live there and have been living there for thousands and thousands of years. So, but now they're saying, well, God gave us this land, so this is our shit. Like, well, what about the people that live there? Well, shit, it's not their shit no more. We'll just put them in concentration camps. Slowly eradicate them.
I mean, they feel like they own the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's what I was talking about in the show last night. It's like, who owns the rivers? Who owns the mountains? It's such a ridiculous thing to think about. Who owns the ocean? It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, but that's the insanity. So, but what I wanted to talk about was, how can we heal ourselves? How can we heal society? What can we do to fix the insanity? How can we start steering it into another direction? Starting at the individual level and then working our way out to the community.
You're breaking up real bad.
Well, I was saying, what are some answers do you think for society being insane?
Man, honestly, if I really knew the solutions, I would be implementing them already. Um, I mean, the only thing that I know is, you know, I mean, we gotta be patient with people, but at the same time, we just gotta be able to affect those who we can affect. You know what I'm saying? Like, give perspective to people, and you know, for those that are willing to listen, and then those who may not be quite ready, you allow God to touch them, and you know, I say God, but you know, the universe, however, however you claim it, but because I look at it as one and the same, but um, bro, that's a tough question to answer, because like I think if most people knew that answer, they would be doing something, you know, be running that play.
Yeah. Well, I think what I was saying earlier was thinking about what we consume that affects our mental is one thing that we can do. You know, like we consume the ads, we consume the TV and TikTok. That's we're consuming
Well,
it. We're consuming the stuff that people be saying, negative thoughts, and the people are walking ads nowadays, and you know. So, but we also consume the sunlight. We consume the sounds, the birds chirping. So we need to think about that kind of stuff, because you know how people say, you know, you go walk in the woods or whatever, you go for a hike, and and they say it helps them mentally, and it's like a therapy.
yeah.
To commune with nature.
Well, you know, but that's you know, that's more, I guess, on the self improvement, because I mean, really trying to you know, and one of, I mean, I wish it wasn't so, but like I've kind of given up on adults. Like my main
Yeah.
thing is to try to, you know,
Children are
teach.
the future.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to teach adults new things because they reject it, and you know, because you know, all of a sudden, oh, like everything you say is golden, and I should drop anything that I believe and just listen to what you have to say. You know, that's, you got to start giving, you know, like, because I try to give examples of how they can see what I'm seeing, because I know, you know, after a while, like it kind of takes a certain thing to be able to see through some of the madness. So, I mean, I talk with kids more than you know, more than I would adults. Well, I talk to adults just as much, but you know, I guess I don't have as much expectation for adults as I do. You know, I believe that children, they already kind of see certain things, and as long as you know they have the option to look at the world in a different, you know, to judge differently, you know, have different options to look at, they're gonna pick what's, you know, more real. I just feel like children are way more real, or you know, open to reality than adults are.
And I can't even argue with that. So, but you know, the children are only a certain number of society, you know. And then what I always say is, you know, society is made up of individuals. So, you know, the individuals, if you could get them to try to be more sane by, you know, just having healthier activities, things that are healthier for their mind. Try to motivate them to do activities that are more mentally healthy instead of.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be hard. Like from this point forward, unless we, like, the adults really get involved in what's going on in schools, because I mean, I don't think it's happening in like Texas, or you know, like, I mean, mostly Democratic runs cities or states are going to be like truly indoctrinated. Because I don't know if you saw what was going on with I can't remember if it was Virginia or West Virginia, but like they're openly saying that they're indoctrinating our kids. Like, yeah, the indoctrination plan. Like they were sitting around like in almost like a little Congress, like the representatives or whatever, the legislative body was talking about how they're, like they're playing, like how massive their indoctrination plans are. So it's like they are truly attacking our kids, because like the same way that we see that, adults, they're pretty much done. They're baked. Those who, see the light. Those who don't, they're just going to be blind. But they're really focusing on our kids, because they know that everything that the mindset that they want the kids to have, they just got to get it from the beginning. Like it's, they try to sell it to them as early as possible.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for those of y'all that think that because I mean, I think it's kind of, sad that they're trying to teach elementary school kids about sex, and then not just about sex, but gay and transgendered, outside of the natural, what I'm just gonna say it, out of what's really considered natural relationships. And of course, I've always kind of voiced this, kind of messed up how the LGBT caters to everybody except heterosexuals. Like they don't exist.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought like all the way. I'm distracted. Godfather's house. Whatever. So what'd you see? Did you see anything in the news? How you feeling, man? You said you in Louisiana. Why are you in Louisiana?
I'm here to get him back to Texas.
Oh, okay.
He's been with my mom, chilling for a little over a month, and I got to get him back home because him and his mom's got plans.
Okay. Yeah. And then last night when we was on the show, it was really late, and you said you was driving, so you must have been headed to Louisiana.
I got started late yesterday. Like I didn't get my load until 3 p.m. So, I had to get a certain amount of miles in yesterday in order to be able to finish, be able to get them all the rest of the miles done today. So I drove, let's say I think I actually started driving close to 4. So I think I didn't stop driving until 1, 2 o'clock, something like that last night.
Yeah, because we was on and we was talking, and you was like, "Yeah, I'm driving." I didn't mention it during the show, but I thought about it. I was like, "Damn, you don't never drive that late."
I usually try to have my stuff done. Like I try to stop driving by 9. 10 o'clock. I'm usually done for the day, and but like I said, I couldn't get my load until 3 p.m. After 3 p.m. So
let me play this. Everybody's mad at this guy. I don't know what it for.
These people are odious on the inside and out. They're like 5'2", 350 pounds, and they're like, "Give me my abortions or I'll get up and march and protest." And I'm thinking, march? You look like you got ankles weaker than the legal reasoning behind Roe versus Wade.
Oh, damn.
A few of them need to get up and march. They need to get up and march for like an hour a day, swing those arms, get the blood pumping, maybe mix in a salad.
Here's a despicable video of Congressman Matt Gaetz.
Have you watched these pro-abortion, pro-murder rallies, the people are just disgusting. Like, why is it that the women with the least likelihood of getting pregnant are the ones most worried about having abortions? Nobody wants to impregnate you if you look like a thumb. These people are odious on the inside and out. They're like,
Okay, you want to make comments?
Why is he going ham on? Damn. Bro. I don't know what to say about that. I mean, I can't say that that's my experience, but that's, obviously if they're getting pregnant, they must be desired to some extent. So, look, it is what it is. I mean, you know me. I done got beat up all across the country because of my beliefs, and look, he said what he said. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
He said, I said what I said. Let me play this.
We know who inflicted this harm and reversed this important right, and that was the Supreme Court because of Republican picks over decades. And so it just, to me, highlights how important and the devastation of losing the presidential race to Donald Trump. He appointed 3 Supreme Court justices, and the Supreme Court since then has continued to erode fundamental rights that American citizens enjoy. Well, I do see some of the unity, and Reverend Al, what I'll tell you is that I have a view that a lot of people don't. I see the thoughtfulness of the president. I see his fortitude, and a lot of times I know what he's going to do because he's doing that due diligence to get it done. And my point then was that the president had action that he knew he wanted to take, but a lot of that has to clear certain hurdles. And what I wanted to make sure that Democrats understood is that we know who did this to the country. We know who inflicted this harm and reversed.
Okay, you got comments?
I don't know why people are so upset about this. I mean, yeah, I mean, like, I think that people get too comfortable with exercising a right that is really for the highest power of our universe, life or death. And, to me, it's just, I mean, they'll go from pillar to post to screaming and talk about it or whatever. But, like, honestly, I just believe people need to just be more responsible with what they're doing. If you don't want to have a child with somebody, or like if it's something health wise, the doctors are gonna stand up for you and do what's gotta be done. But if you just out just doing shit and you don't want to take responsibility for your actions, I feel sorry for you. I don't care what the judges, because I mean, look, Roe versus Wade should have never been enacted to begin with. It shouldn't be a law. It shouldn't be like it was all based on a lie. So if we wouldn't have had some white woman lie on some black men that supposedly raped her, we wouldn't have Roe versus Wade. So I mean, if whoever is okay with saying that this thing should just should be like in existence, is because you're really just a selfish person. You don't, what I'm saying, you like find something else to if you feel like that's something you deserve is abortions, find a reason, do your due diligence. But I mean, we were living a lie with Roe versus Wade because I don't know. I just think that.
Yeah, man. I just think that it's just them sowing the division. You know, I think that's the whole point of it. And then there goes back to the insanity, like us being crazy because we are all fighting about some stuff. It's not really trivial stuff, but it's stuff that's kind of beside the point with what's going on, you know. And we mostly agree on things, and those are the things that we need to focus on so we can just move forward and start fixing things instead of getting hung up on these topics.
Well, you know, I feel like, and I believe that is somewhat true to some extent, but I mean, you know, especially for, you know, look, we're all gods and goddesses. We can like we do have the right to, you know, not I say right, but we do have the ability to choose. But can we just choose more, you know, responsibly, so that, you know, it doesn't have to be, you know, to the extent where there is a life and we're deciding if it's gonna live or die, instead of, you know, when it's in the mind before you get to the point of it becoming physical. Like, I mean, like, what's so hard about that? I don't see anything hard about that. It's really nothing hard.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up. Let me play this right here.
After 39 days, I'm still yet to see any Republicans thanking Joe Biden for lowering gas prices because they think he controls them. But look, no matter what, Republicans will never give him credit for anything, even though prices have been dropping for 39 days. If they won't follow their logic, I will. Thank you, President Biden. Gas prices have gone down for 39 days in a row in the United States. And using Republican logic, we can all thank Joe Biden. After 39 days, I'm still yet to see any Republicans thanking Joe Biden for lowering gas prices because they think he controls them. But look, no matter...
I don't know, man. He said they've been going down 39 days in a row. It must be a point penny each day, fraction of a penny going down, because I ain't feeling no difference.
Well, I mean, he just contradicted himself, because if he has no control over gas prices, then why should we be thanking him for prices going down?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I have noticed the prices have been going down slowly, and, you know, okay, they've exempted some, you know, the new gas taxes or fuel taxes. So he does have some control over it. Now, does he have complete control? No, because the fuel companies get to say what they're going to sell the price for. Because, I mean, honestly, we've been just looking at a whole supply and demand aspect of business. They could easily supply more. Like, there's plenty of crude oil and, you know, sources to get it.
That's called price fixing.
Yeah, that's all it is. I mean, they know exactly what they're doing, and they've created, you know, this supply chain problem. Like, they created all of it, and I'm supposed to thank the person for giving me a few cents off of something that, you know, where he, you know, added dollars. Like, I don't get it. Like, they're still seeing record profits. So I don't understand. What this kid needs to shut the fuck up, because he don't know what the hell he's talking about, because I don't even think he knows what's even happening right now.
Oh, okay. So did you hear about some truckers protesting in California? Some kind of law change or something? It says Oakland protesters demonstrate for fifth straight day in response to California law.
AB5?
Wait, hold on. The caption says truckers protested the Port of Oakland for the fifth day in a row in response to a new California labor law that makes it harder for independent drivers to operate. Officials warn demonstrators that their actions may be unintended consequences, Jamie Yukas reports. So they're not really saying much, but the truckers are mad
I
about
was talking about this a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
And actually, a friend of mine brought this up to me. He lives in Colorado, but I guess he saw that it's something that could spread across the country. But it's Assembly Bill 5 that in the California legislation that they're trying to, because I mean it really affects more than truck drivers, but those are the ones who seem to really, we're into politics, and we know like what happens in politics affects us right away. Uber drivers, pretty much anybody who does any kind of contracting, business contracting through another company can be affected. So the Amazon driver, pretty much anybody but this is what's happening in California. As far as we know, that's as far as it's going right now. But they're pretty much trying to get a bunch of people. I guess a bunch of drivers are looking at leaving California because of it. But I didn't know that they was actually protesting or doing anything.
Okay, let me play this.
Welcome back to CBS Saturday Morning. We begin this half hour with a labor problem in California that could affect the nation's economy. Independent truckers have all but shut down the port of Oakland. They're protesting a new state law that resets how they work, including whether they're entitled to job benefits. Oakland is a major hub in world commerce, and as Jamie Yukas reports, the concern is that the work stoppage will threaten the already strained supply chain.
This is one of the 10 busiest ports in the nation. Now, it's silent. Except on the outside, where truckers gathered for a 5th straight day. They've effectively shut down the Port of Oakland, protesting a new California labor law that makes it harder for independent drivers to operate.
I'm here to support my family because we have bills to pay.
Gladys Hernandez says she's been here every day and has no plans to leave.
You don't want to turn labor, union, and the corporate truck drivers against you. You want them with you, right?
Oakland Police Captain Clay Birch says he understands the drivers' frustration, but warns of unintended consequences. The shutdown is the latest in a long line of West Coast work stoppages that have affected the supply chain and added to inflation. Cargo here is mostly agricultural.
It's about the greater good. It's about the consumer as well. Think about the end game here.
What's not getting out? What's not getting in?
We're talking about perishable goods, food items, things like that.
Right now, this is limited to Oakland, but there is concern the protests could spread to Southern California, where they are still recovering after massive gridlock last year.
What if people stop being sympathetic to you because they start seeing the grocery prices go up?
It's okay, no problem, but I have to family to support.
As these containers start to pile up, the ripple effect is significant. It's not just the protesting drivers, it's anyone at the dock who is loading or offloading. They're not getting paid. For CBS Saturday.
So what you think? Comments?
Well, I don't, honestly, I don't know if the protest is helping or not, because I mean, the thing is that, people who are, think they know what's right for the world, the country. Because I mean, honestly, I really feel like, things that I've heard over the years is that, United States belongs to China. So maybe, I don't know if they're trying to do everything they can to push people out of California so that they can do what they want to do. Because, I mean, you think about California has I don't know if it still is, but at one point was the 5th largest economy in the world. So, I mean, there's United States, there's China, and then there's 2 others in between just California alone. So, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of money that goes through California, and that's maybe my conspiracy is wrong, my theory on it is wrong, potentially, but there's been a lot that happened, you know, because I mean, if you think like they've been trying to push a lot of people out of there for a long time. So
Let me read the comments underneath here. This is underneath the video that I just played. The first comment says, "I drove for 5 years and left the industry. It's a difficult, stressful, and underpaid, thankless, crazy hours job. Not to mention the people to pick up and delivery sites treat you horribly. People never seem to realize without truck drivers, they would have absolutely nothing." What you think about that?
I feel sorry for that guy because I mean, I don't necessarily feel the same way. I mean, you know, I think some people do, you know, overlook the importance of truck drivers, but you know, I mean, I don't do it for everybody else. You know, I mean, to some extent I do, but you know, people who don't appreciate it, you know, that's just, you know, I mean, I guess I'm used to people, you know, being naive to what's really happening around them, or you know how things work in this world. So I guess I'm have more forgiveness for people than others. Plus, I make a pretty good living off of that. So
Let me read a couple more. This one says, "I'm from California and I will 100% support all truckers. We all have bills to pay. We're tired of just surviving. We want to live." And
yeah, and you got to think too, California, like its inflation is extremely high. Like that's like it's probably the highest country in this you know, I still get caught calling it a country. It is a country, but California has some really extreme taxes, and the inflation rates are through the roof. So it's already hard to live there to begin with for those who, especially if, like, I don't know how anybody that's minimum wage live. I mean, other than the fact that you got to live with 5 to 10 people just to, you know, be able to, you know, survive. But
yeah. Let me read some more comments. It says, "For those wondering about the law, California made a law that essentially makes it so 70K plus drivers can no longer act as independent contractors."
yeah, and it kind of seems like a push, like to, you know, they can gather more money from the people because, you know, like a lot of people will probably just say the hell with it and stop driving or move. Like some people are even considering moving, like to even Texas somewhere, that moving their company there because they will, you know, benefit more, so they don't have to follow the California laws. But California would, you know, what they would do is instead of having, you know, let's say 1,000 companies that, you know, facilitate most of the loads and stuff that go on. Now each driver, each individual driver, somebody who owns a truck would have to, you know, get their own authority, go through the processes of getting their own loads, and it really just causes more. It just causes more problems, really. Like it makes no sense. But a lot of things that our politicians are doing these days makes no sense.
There was a fire in Yosemite National Park, July 23rd, 2022.
That was today, then.
So in the pictures, you just see driving, and it's like fire and smoke on the sides of the road. Just like it looks like the whole fire, the sky is on fire. Like the color of the sky. It's mostly just trees. I see some structures. Looks like they caught fire, but it looks like mostly it's trees.
Did they say how it started?
Let's see. See if they say anything here. The caption says a fast-moving wildfire near Yosemite National Park exploded inside Saturday and prompted evacuations even as firefighters made progress against an earlier blaze that burned to the edge of a grove of giant sequoias. The Oak Fire, which began Friday southwest of the park near Mid-Pines in Mariposa County, grew to 26.5 square kilometers by Saturday morning, according to the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection, or CAL FIRE. As of Saturday morning, the fire had destroyed 10 residential and commercial structures and damaged 5 more, the Mercury News reported. Hot weather and bone-dry vegetation caused by the worst drought in decades was fueling the blaze and challenging fire crews, as Daniel Patterson, a spokesman for the Sierra National Forest. So it was the dry conditions, they say, is what caused it.
It's just dry conditions, and then the sun dropped some flames down on it. And
Well, no, that can happen. I mean, it just be hot. You know, the sun's shining. Yeah. You know, it could just be hot enough. You know, anything could cause, like, static electricity can cause like a spark. Like the wind blow through the leaves.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna stay on here long tonight because I'm tired. Did a
Yeah, I
lot today.
can't. I gotta drive. I gotta drive to Houston tomorrow. So yeah, I'm and you know, it's just me and little Pat. So
Yeah, and I went roller skating earlier, and I came back and cleaned up and
ooh,
stuff.
that
So I'm,
sounds fun. But also, sounds like sore muscles too afterwards.
yeah, I'm tired. I feel
In
it.
biblical literature.
Let me see. Can I play this? I don't know which ones I can play because I only play clips of these to get ready for this because I wanted to talk about the Book of Enoch, but I didn't have time to really just research these videos. So I'm gonna see. I clicked on a few of them. Let's see if this one is one I can use. I don't even know.
And revered figure in biblical literature. His name appears in the book of Genesis, where he is described as the 7th generation from Adam, and he is the famous great-grandfather of Noah. So his story took place before Noah's flood, or the Great Deluge, or as geologists and anthropologists say, the event at the end of the Pleistocene Age and the start of the current Holocene Age. This is also around the time when Plato suggests that Atlantis was submerged by the rapidly rising sea levels from melted glaciers of the antediluvian or Ice Age. So according to Genesis, Enoch, and I quote, walked with God and was seen no more because God took him.
I'm gonna read it. Was you catching any of that, Pat? The music is kind of scaring me, so I'm gonna read the transcript.
Scaring you? Oh, what you think they're gonna cut you off because of it?
Yeah, I don't want no problems. Yeah, I don't want no problems. They call it copyright or something. They could be all canceling my channel and shit behind it. I'm gonna read the transcript. So, because we're talking about Enoch, the Book of Enoch. On the screen it says Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. So I'm gonna just start reading this transcript. Hold on, give me a second. And then I'm gonna just stop it as I go. It says, according to Genesis, Enoch and I, quote, walked with God and was seen no more. because God took him. This walking with God was understood to refer to special revelations that were made to the patriarch, which was familiar to the authors of the New Testament and also utilized by the community that originally collected the Dead Sea Scrolls. Okay, hold on. According to the Genesis, the Nephilim were offspring of the union between the sons of God and the daughters of men before the deluge, and they later inhabited Canaan at the time of the Israelite conquest. So the book of Enoch connects the origin of these Nephilim with fallen angels, and poor in particular with those that were referred to as the Watchers. Samayaza, an angel of high rank, is described as leading a rebel sect of angels and a descent to earth to have sexual intercourse with human females. In addition to Enoch, the book of Jubilees also states that ridding the earth of these Nephilim was one of the reasons the earth was flooded in the first place in Noah's time, and those works describe the Nephilim as basically being evil giants. That one interpretation of the word. I would now like to read a small passage from the book of Enoch, chapter 1. Hold on, let me pause it. So, you there, Pat?
Yeah.
So yeah, the Nephilim and then the flood, the deluge, they're saying that the whole point of the flood, one of the main reasons for the flood was to get rid of the Nephilim, because it was like against God to have these hybrid, half angel, half human beings walking around who were really just evil and terrorizing the earth. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming that those were certain energies that roam the planet, but I don't know, man. I don't know how to really take that, because some stuff, once if the Bible is read a certain way, and this is like, I don't take it literally. You know what I'm saying? Not gonna make decide for myself that, okay, either it's literal or it's not. And since I've decided that it's not, you know what I'm saying, I just gotta pick, kind of pick through what the message is that they're trying to teach me.
So yeah, so what do you think the message would be?
Well, I
from
mean,
this?
maybe, because there's some people that, believe that they're higher than others, and, maybe it's a story of being equally yoked, I guess. And I guess the evils and I don't know. I never really fooled with that so much. Like, I don't know. I guess I never gave that too much, and maybe I should give it more consideration. But I just had.
Okay, I'm gonna read some more. It says, I'm gonna go back some. In the first place, in Noah's time, and these works describe the Nephilim as basically being evil giants. That one interpretation of the word. I would now like to read a small passage from the book of Enoch, chapter 1, the Watchers, and I quote, "And it came to pass when the children of men had multiplied, that in those days were born into them beautiful and comely daughters, and the angels, the children of heaven, saw and lusted after them, and said to one another, Come, let us choose wives from among the children of men, and beget us children. And Samayaza was their leader, said unto them, and I quote, I fear he will not indeed agree to this deed, and I alone shall have to pay the penalty of a great sin. And they all answered him and said, and I quote, let us all swear an oath and all bind ourselves by mutual imprecations, not to abandon this plan, but to do this thing that they swore they all together and bound themselves by mutual imprecations upon it, and they were in all 200 who descended in the days of Jared on the summit of Mount Heman, and they called it Mount Hermon, because we had sworn and bound themselves by mutual imprecations upon it, and all the others together that them took into themselves wives of each chose for himself one, and they began to go into them and to defile themselves with them, and they taught them charms, and in the mints and the cutting of roots, and made them acquainted with plants, and they became pregnant, and they bare great giants who consumed all acquisitions of them. Hold on. My eyes, it's hard to read this because while it's moving, it says, defiled themselves with them, and they taught them charms, and in the mints and the cutting of roots, and made them acquainted with plants, and they became pregnant, and they bare great giants who consumed all acquisitions of men. And when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind, and they began to sin against birds and beasts and reptiles. We're talking about the book of Enoch right here. I'm going to let it play and then I'm going to pause it again. It's so hard to read that while it's moving. My eyes are freaking burning.
Yeah, I need to probably go and shut it down because, like I said, I'm gonna get up and be rolling early, so I need to give me enough.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I'm gonna wrap it up a little while. No, I'm not coming on tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday, and I work tomorrow. Yeah, I work tomorrow night.
Because I might pass.
All right, man. Hit me.
Tomorrow night.
Well, tomorrow I'll probably be at work.
Either way.
Yeah.
During the day.
Yeah, I go in at 4. Wait, I think 4, and I'll be there till 11, probably 10:30.
Yeah, nah. If I catch you, it'll probably be before work because I'm gonna be heading back this way by that time.
All right, man.
Yeah. So I'll get back with you. I'll holler at you tomorrow.
All right, man. Get you some rest.
All right, bro.
Peace.
Peace.
Okay, I'm going to read some more of this. It says, then the giants turned against them and devoured mankind, and they began to sin against birds and beasts and reptiles and fish, and to devour one another's flesh, and drink the blood, and the earth laid accusation against the lawless ones. The Book of Enoch. My name is Robert Sapir. I'm an anthropologist and author, and I invite you to explore some suppressed mysteries. Give me a second. With me, an attempt to unlock the riddles which have eluded any serious consideration in mainstream academia. Species with amnesia are forgotten. I guess it's a gap there. It still has time left. So maybe that's the end though. Anyways, I'm gonna read the captions. It says something else. Hold on. Species with amnesia are forgotten history gods with amnesia. Subterranean worlds, inner earth, the occult secrets of Brill, and 1666 redemptions through sin. I appreciate all the positive feedback. It's kind of good. Whatever. So the caption underneath this, it says, Enoch is a very important and revered figure in biblical literature. described as the seventh generation from Adam and the great-grandfather of Noah. The book of Enoch connects the origin of the Nephilim with the fallen angels. That was the caption. Let me read some comments. It said, I love how you cover Inner Earth, the Watchers, Atlantis, etc. This is the suppressed real history our leaders think we are too dumb to learn about. The Bible says that knowledge will increase in the last days, but I had no idea that that part of the knowledge would be the unraveling of mysteries. It says, you summed up the story of Enoch very eloquently. Thank you, Robert. It says, cannibalistic giants, not an uncommon story as I once thought. In Nevada, where I used to live, in a small town about an hour from U.S., there was, I said Nevada, NV, whatever that is, there was either Paiute or Shoshone legend of a red-headed pair of cannibalistic giants. They even found skeletons with red hair still attached in a cave outside of Lovelock, NV, many, many years ago. Interesting. Might need to read more of the Bible. Let me read some more. It says, absolutely mind-blowing, beautiful, and intriguing. I cannot get enough of the ancient history. When I was a young girl, I always felt that they were more than what I was being taught in church. In life, the answers I was given held no weight. The history I was taught seemed like a child's fairy tale and was, for lack of a better word, boring, void of true grit. So thank you for inspiring me to dig deeper and deeper, and I've begun to find answers satisfying to the day, the least. Let me see. Are there any more good comments? Remember, fee fi fo fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread. Some of those things I heard as a child refer to very dark events. Let me read some more. It says, archaeologists have discovered entire underground cities in Greece and Turkey with huge stone doors capable of being opened only from the inside. They are stumped as to why they went to such elaborate ends. Let me read another one. I am so happy that I found this channel. Blah, blah, blah. Everybody likes to make comments and just ride people's, you know what? More and more comments like that. Another one says, I'm so impressed with how ancient peoples carved such structures like the one shown at the end of this video, right out of hills and mountains. The idea alone is mind-blowing creative. Today, people are so obsessed with creating so they can create VS work with what is right in front of our eyes. We create so much waste. Doing it the old way, you can utilize what's left over in a variety of ways, and it's all natural. That's what I've been trying to say. We have to go back to the nature stuff. Doing things in a way that we're thinking about nature. We're thinking about the trees. We're thinking about the birds, the insects, the dirt, the health of the soil. We're thinking about all of that when we're building stuff. We're not just randomly just building structures. We need to think about all that stuff. What are going to be the long-term impacts and effects of this stuff? You know, a lot of birds die because of these skyscrapers and the way that they build the windows. And they could just build them in different ways, but they don't. The birds just die hitting the windows. And it's like, whatever, who cares about a couple of birds? And then we was talking about in the other show how one thing affects another. One little thing over here affects a whole nother thing on the other side of the earth. But we don't care, right? I wanted to cover some more of Enoch, but it was something. Hold on. Before I go, I think I got something that I really did want to cover right quick. Let me see. Am I sure? I'm not sure though. Oh, this dude. No, that's nothing. I think I'm gonna wrap it, y'all. I'm tired anyways. We need to look for answers, ways to resolve the situations, right? We're talking about the sanity of society or lack thereof. We need to think about ways to improve things around us. I think that maybe just improving your environment better, like your living environment and making it more healthy, like plants around or something, more natural light in your building, less artificial light, stuff like that. Just making little differences to relieve some of the stress, because that's what's driving us insane. We live in this stressful ass environment that we have created on our own in this world where we have to work all the time and worry about bills and worry about. I should play the story about in China where they have to worry about their grandkids. If their credit is bad, it could affect their grandkids' life. You're like, God damn, that's a high level of stress. That's not right. We should not be living like this. That's not right. Anyways, y'all, peace and love. Thank y'all for joining. Y'all have a good night. Get y'all some rest.